Well, hey Virgos, how about a reading from your metal dog? It's been a while, but I have a few minutes and I had no doubt it was going to be my Virgo friends. You know who you are. So many ex-girlfriends of mine have been Virgos. What is it? It's the warmth and then the complete removal of warmth. I just found that so captivating for my whole youth. Anyway, Virgos, let's just see what the Oracle thinks is going on with you, and then we will design a spread specific to that theme. All right, we're going to go with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And let's see what it is. Wow. Queen of the Moon is the card. Sovereignty. That is self-ownership. That is a very powerful place you're in, Virgo. Wow, I'm very happy that I felt motivated to check in with you today. Also, on the bottom of the deck, an underlying energy is attraction, which is such an interesting image for attraction. A person alone really attracting so much happening out in this heavens. This supermoon and this person are engaged in relationship here. And I think this is how big this energy is that's going on with you, Virgo. Wow. Okay. Let me just actually go ahead and quickly glance at sovereignty in this here. I've never pulled that card. You have sovereignty over your own life. Act with grace and confidence. You have the ability to unite disparate people and views should you choose to do so. The buck stops with you. You are powerful. Act like it. And the kind of thing to say to yourself, to remind yourself, is I reign over my own realm. Well, 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 Virgo. Let's find out about this. So we're going to do a spread here about your sovereignty and attraction. Like cosmic power here that we're dealing with in you. Or perhaps it'll just simply be about why I'm attracted to Virgos, or I'm trying to give up Virgos for Lent, if I'm to be honest. I think I've just always been a little bit too drawn to what I experience as abandonment, as a kind of old-time feeling, I like to say, for my own youth. So why am I sharing this with you? I don't know. It's a part of the reading. I'm going to give you a 7-card story here. What's hidden, who's around you, some advice, what's past, present, future, you, who you are. It's one of my favorite spreads, and I just think when we're talking about big things like your sovereignty, that's the spread. Okay. First card is the past. And in the recent past or lately, we get strength. This is you rising to your highest self. Okay, and let me just say, like, strength is pressing down your animal side, which is not always, it doesn't always appeal to me. It can be a bit repressed, like your desire gets pressed down because you have like a spiritual calling. What I actually see in this image is this fairy in MJ Coulinon's For Haxa deck. She is negotiating with her dragon side here with this blue orb. It's a negotiation between the dragon, fiery you, and the supportive, nurturing side of you. Usually a strength card is a woman, always a woman, who is calming a lion or even putting her hands in the lion's mouth. So it's having the power, the sovereignty perhaps, to negotiate with something very powerful, very dangerous. And that in this, the heart comes in, and you have a love that quells the natural predatory instinct, either in you or it's usually a lion. Here we have a dragon. So that's your recent past. And your present is anxiety. So you've gone from a very powerful place to a place of isolation, anxiety, even insomnia. The little fairy here, wide awake, with all of the dragonflies buzzing around her. Oh, actually in this deck, they look like dragonflies to me, but they're actually hornets. So yeah, sleeping with hornets, not very relaxing. And your brain is the wasp's nest here. Oh, she just looks like so miserable. That is exactly how insomnia feels. This artist is so good with some of the miserable cards in tarot. Yeah, she said so herself. Okay, what's hidden from you and what the tarot wants you to know is an 8 of water. This is a feeling of unfulfillment. It is time to move on to the next place or thing. This is an emotional unfulfillment. So you may or may not be looking at this. The tarot's telling me that this is something you're not looking at, that is hidden from you. And we will find out more about this when we clarify. You appear in this deck as, wow, action embodied, the 8 of fire. Very passionate, full of willpower. This is a communication. This is an action. And that you are embodying that like these hawks. Ooh, this is awesome. You can see the fairy riding this hawk down. I think of, it's often like wands flying in parallel down to the earth, and so you can get that really powerful fiery energy. So you appear to be taking action from this place of power, but you also appear to be losing sleep over it somehow, and perhaps in a state of unfulfillment that is unacknowledged. There's something hidden from you that is in the emotional realm that is the source of unfulfillment. Or maybe somebody around you is feeling that way. We'll find out. Speaking of someone around you, who is around you? Wow, we get the Hierophant, which in this deck I love, because I can really relate to the Hierophant in this deck because it is a tree. It is the tree of life. The roots going all the way down through the earth and all the way up to the sky. So the Hierophant represents institutions. It can be a teacher, a mentor. But here in the Forhaxa deck, we can see that the Hierophant is truly a source of spiritual guidance. So that's great. You're going through something very profound. You are very powerful, but somebody around you is a wonderful spiritual guide. And it is a structure that you can lean into and believe in. It's often like the Pope in older tarot decks. And I know the Pope and these kinds of institutions of power, they are associated with trauma for many of us. But here, the Hierophant is this deep-rooted tree. Okay, your advice in this situation is a 5 of fire. This is fight passionately for whatever this is. You're being advised to fight, to compete, to struggle. This is not comfortable. It is definitely, hopefully, a temporary place, but there is something worth fighting for here, Virgo. Okay. And the future is the fulfillment that you're looking for, the 10 of water. So there's somebody around you who is unfulfilled. The 9 of water is solitary. The 10 of water is with another. So there is, your emotional happiness with somebody else in the future, Virgo. After you fight for something, right? So what do you need to fight for? That's the question for you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use this Modern Witch deck to clarify this. My little tarot spirit guide had no doubt that that's what I should go to. Okay, Virgo. So in the recent past, or you know when, you were coming from this position of strength. You were able to suppress or at least negotiate with the dragon inside of you. And let's find out more about that. Okay, the Chariot. This was a very powerful time in the recent past. You had a lot of momentum, lots of starting energy. So maybe that's and it's interesting. I've read that strength is a very powerful card. It's the card that beats the devil. But also that it is an answer to the Chariot, that in a way the Chariot represents the dragon momentum. So even though you may have been capable of calming the beast inside of you, that was a very powerful energy that you were dealing with. And so that sovereignty over yourself, yes, I can see that again in the King of Swords coming up here. This king is, I think of the King of Swords as having gone to war and learned in the battle that it is too costly to go to war. It is too costly to let your violent nature rule you. And so has this wisdom to withdraw the sword of the battlefield for instead to exchange it for the sword of intellect, philosophy, diplomacy. Sometimes the King of Swords, which is fixed Aquarian energy, gets read as cold because the intellect gets read as cold by many tarot readers. And, I defer to the majority, but when it comes to the sign of swords, of air, of intellect, like as an intellectual, this can be the dragon. It can be full of fire and passion and even violence. It can hurt. And so the aspiration to be that King of Swords, to use your mind for the greater good, it's Aquarius is the humanitarian. And so if you are seeing this tension here between the Chariot and the King of Swords, I see that. I mean, I like the Chariot momentum on other days, but here, this is about the recent past being a leader. And there was also a very new beginning offered to you. Ace of Pentacles. Something very 3D, a new job, moving to a new house, earthy, grounded, embodied, real offer. Almost seems like that might be what you wanted with that Chariot, like you were drawn to it, but for some reason you suppressed the urge to take that offer. Maybe you have some regret about that. That's what I see in your recent past, Virgo. Okay, 9 of Air. Where you are not sleeping, baby. You are just so bothered by your brain. It's just like a bunch of hornets. I love her. I feel so sorry for the 9 of Air fairy. I have a little insomnia myself these days. It's not bad. It's like ambition. It is my brilliant mind having a bajillion ideas that I don't have time to act on. But let's see what's going on for you, Virgo. 9 of Air. You feel abandoned. You feel left out. You were in the church and now you're outside of it. And you're cold and you're hungry. It's a feeling of abandonment. Didn't I say that about how Virgos give me a sense of abandonment because of the warmth? And then really it's just going into themselves. It's not meant to be cold. It just feels like abandonment when you have abandonment issues like I do or have had. I'm working on those. So perhaps you can relate to this, because what this is showing me is you feel outside, you feel abandoned and impoverished right now, and you're losing sleep over it. It appears to be in the realm of work. Here is the collaboration. Three of Pentacles. It can be very, you're making real in the world that Ace of Pentacles, that vision. It could be this offer that you had in the past. It could be something that you were already doing, a collaboration you were already a part of, that has led you to feel abandonment. It's so this is work, my Virgo friend. All earth, you are earth sign. Pentacles is of earth. Yeah. So something happened at work. This is making me think of a particular Virgo. And you ended up feeling abandoned and betrayed, and you're losing sleep over it for some reason. Yeah. Okay, well, let's find out if we can find out more, because this is what is hidden from you. Discontent, lack of fulfillment, the need to move. This can be a spiritual journey. You may or may not be aware of it. It could be your discontent, or somebody around you is discontented. You're definitely, losing sleep. Is this why? Let's find out. I feel like this is what's hidden from me, the tarot reader, not you. But let's see. Okay. Temperance. Temperance. Waiting for the right mix, the right alchemy. It's definitely divine support, but this is a wait. You have to wait card. High Priestess. Wow, intuition. I think you do know this, or this is a secret. So you either intuitively know this, or it feels hidden from you, because the High Priestess is either your intuition or something that's sacred, secret knowledge. There's so much divine here. And it looks like to be in contrast with the way that you're all pentacles, and right now you're like super, super practical. What's hidden from you is a spiritual journey. Or somebody very spiritual. Holy moly. Yeah, the Magician. I feel like you're focusing too much on the practical. And because we have sovereignty, and, remember your power is, when you get the Magician here, this girl has the power. This woman has the power. She has all the tools. She's got the swords, pentacles, the cup, and the wand. She knows how to use them. She knows how to manifest, to bring into the world her vision. You have the patience and the artfulness of temperance, the alchemical, magical ability, as well as divine guidance here. You can see you out in nature, perhaps. See, she has one foot in the water, one on land, mixing what is practical and what is emotional. And this feels really at the heart of this. You're overly practical right now, and you're forgetting to use your other tools. I feel like this Eight of Water, this is your emotional unfulfillment, because you're not listening to your intuition. You are acting, though, because we see you in the reading as the Eight of Fire. It couldn't be. It's like this Chariot energy from the past. You're really coming from there, and I think you're doing it in a very practical, pentacle way. It's not fulfilling you. You're not sleeping. You're yearning. You're feeling something is missing, and yet you're talking actually from this place, and you're acting from this place. You seem repressed, Virgo, which Virgos often seem repressed. You're perfectionists. It's part of what's so sexy about Virgos from the Scorpio vantage point. It's like, do you need a little help with that repression? And that's what I think you're coming here for. A little help from your Scorpio with being overly practical, overly perfectionist, and not being fulfilled in whatever that work is, and ignoring that you're unfulfilled and that you actually have amazing tools and amazing intuition and divine support. You're just still acting out. Let's see. I mean, I love you riding this hawk down to earth. It's very much, so it's wands, it's fire, will, determination, action. But because they're portrayed here as birds, it makes me think of air, and it makes me think back to this intellectual King of Swords, the philosopher. So often the air sign or swords are represented by birds and feathers in tarot. And I see that the thoughts coming to earth, because you're clearly doing work, but these are the kind of thoughts. They're hornets. They're keeping you up at night. You're unfulfilled. You're not paying attention to your emotional needs. Or that's what the cards say. Revise as you will. This is a general reading. Take and leave. What suits you. Okay, let's find out more about what you're doing. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It just looks like you're acting intellectually, but not from your true heart. Because you're doing strength. There's the Knight of Pentacles. There's that goody two shoes, practical, slowpoke knight. Goody two shoes. Okay. Holy moly. You're King of Pentacles, security. Boring. Come on, Virgo. This is so Virgo-y, earthy. They're lovely characters. There's something missing here for you. What is it? Oh, okay, you got your heart broken. That's why you have the Five of Pentacles feel right now. You've been betrayed. And so, oh boy, I totally get this. I get why you're just being so practical because somebody broke your heart. Or you broke somebody else's heart, because this is coming up under you. My first thought was that your heart is broken, and therefore you're being overly practical and you're not entertaining any of your emotional needs because you got hurt there. Three of Swords, your heart and your mind are not in alignment. Strength in the recent past says that you put down a passion. I feel like Virgos are quite good at this. I don't get it as a Scorpio. I live from passion. I'd rather be rash than safe. But you're different from me. And so you're Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles with a broken heart. It isn't that you aren't capable of heart, of passion. It's just more normal and safe feeling for you to be 3D. I'm feeling a strong sense of perfectionism. And this is your sovereignty here. I'm seeing her, she's holding the moon. All right, it's the moon. I think it's supposed to be the moon because this is a moon-centered deck, but I'm thinking of this as a pentacle, that she's holding it like this King of Pentacles. Of course, all of these people in this modern witch deck are, well, let's say none of them are cis men. So I see this sovereignty over your element, earth. But if we also think about that is a moon for real, that your high priestess side, your intuition, this magical side of you, of mystery, of secrecy, of the moon journey, which is to cross this river to go to that unknown place. Like, that is a part of you too. You are a mutable sign, Virgo. Okay. Hierophant. This is the people or person around you. This is going to this big tree. Somebody that is very spiritual. And since you have spiritual work to do, I think this is a good person to have around you. Let's see, who is the Hierophant? Okay. Hierophant is the sun. It's interesting because you have in the past strength and now the sun in this person. This is like, there are two Leo cards here. So if there's a Leo around you, Virgo, this could be that person. This is a person who is in touch with their inner child, who is authentic, who just lets their freak flag fly. And this is their message that comes to them when they go and pray at this great tree that goes deep into the roots, that goes into the center of the earth. What else? What else? Ooh, the Tower is on the bottom. I don't normally notice what's on the bottom at this point in the reading, but there's some kind of surprise about here. What else? Death. Okay. So I was going to say Scorpio here. I always want to add that the other people around you can be another aspect of you. So this could be your spiritual side. So this is either a person who's very transformative. There's Leo, there's Scorpio here. Hierophant is Taurus. Yeah, this person has something really, really big. These are all major arcana. They're a very powerful person, very spiritual, very transformative, and authentic. It's like light of day and dark of night. They have walked in all of these places. This person has. And finally, Six of Pentacles. This affirms for me this balance. Okay, this is just one of my least favorite cards. It's so... Okay, Six of Pentacles. Why is it my least favorite card again today? Okay, so it's about charity and generosity. It's about this rich lady is going to give to these two that are on their knees, and she's going to be charitable and give to them. It's often also thought of as a balancing of resources, and maybe that kind of goes to what I just said about this Hierophant person. They're the sun and they're the death. They're two opposite sides of the journey, the spectrum, and there's a balancing of those here. The Hierophant as a teacher, this could be a gift that they're giving to you, and it's pentacles. It could be in the realm of your work and how your work and your spiritual journey that you're being called to align. But whoever this person is, if it's you, if it's someone in your life, they have something really profound to give you, and they're exactly who you need as you go through this, face this. I feel like you're so in your pentacles. The only reason that you'll face this is because after holicking all day, you're losing sleep. But this person or people, this side of you, they are, whoever you pick, they're here to help you. They have something to give you. I'm going to read the Six of Pentacles that way. Okay, your advice is to fight with a passion. Here, this is a very sturdy fairy who is fighting these snakes and stomping on their heads. She's fully engaged in this battle fearlessly. And the Five of Fire can also be a lot of input, a lot of outside voices, and learning through a process of wands to have integrity, to not get disoriented, to stand strong in who you are in the midst of a lot of conflict and competing voices and ideas. So let's find out more here about this 5 of Fire advice. Okay. What's advice for our Virgo today? 5 of Fire. What else? There's that 8 of Wands. So this is what you are appearing as. This is you doing. You can see that motorcycle there. And then you got this in the recent past, this Chariot. It's like you knew you had this momentum in the past. You pushed it down. So this is a part of your advice. Go for it. And it's also how you are appearing here today. So maybe the action you are taking is, even though it doesn't seem clear, because your advice is like, who cares what the confusion is? Just go. Let's see what else. 7 of Cups. Yeah, there's definite confusion. Illusion, confusion, projection, choices is what it can feel like, and having trouble choosing. So this is all about that too. And change, the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to turn in your favor. Divine guidance is here. So I think the advice is stay in the fray. Keep in the fiery side of you, that you are coming from this already. You're already here in the 8 of Wands. You don't know what the hell right now, but that's going to change. All right. And in the future, it's beautiful. Rainbows, true love. It's, I don't know, paradise on earth. Total fulfillment. It's definitely having moved from here through, a 9 of Water is you on your own fulfilled. 10 of Water is more of a community or family or couple kind of. I used to just think of it as true love. But I understand now it's a lot more complicated than that. Also, this one involves rainbows. All right. What else in the future? Okay. This is you envisioning, seeing the world from above. So have a clear view of the world that you want to make. This is about manifesting. And remember, you are not realizing that you have the power to manifest. This Page of Swords. Curiosity, kind of newness, new ideas. This a young energy. Something new in the intellect. Right in the past, you were here, the king. Boy, you'd gone through it and you knew it. In the future, it's like seeing the truth through new eyes. And another young person, the Page of Wands. This is very young energy. Could be your children. Yeah, that's clear. This is family feel. But I also often get the message that there's wisdom in the young people, and there's leadership that they have for us elders. Am I an elder? I'm 50. I think sometimes I am an inner child. I'm with my inner child, which this is a part of somebody around you. There's a playful, youthful vision. I just finished grading a bunch of essays by my gender survey students. They were marvelous, and I asked them, about their vision for the world. After having written an exam, it was very much about historical and collective trauma in a violent society with a very painful history that we've been studying. And they often said, I know it's corny, I know I'm overly optimistic, but this is the world I want to live in. This is the world I want to be a part of making. And from my standpoint, we should never discourage that optimism and that vision, because if enough people have that vision, it can become real. So in your reading here, Virgo, that's what I think this is about being a part of. It's about being sovereign of yourself, being aware of what is powerful about you, and then also um, feeling letting yourself go towards what you are attracted to. You already had this powerful attraction, this offer in the very recent past, or whatever you thought of when I showed you this offer in the past. You already had this. You're actually attracted to it. I see that pentacle also reflected here in this supermoon image. You already know what it is. Go towards it. You don't really know what the heck yet. You have a very good guide in somebody around you. And the illusion and confusion are going to shift. But it's actually, these cards are saying, you intuitively know, you've been spending time considering, and now, as the magician, you can act. You can make this real. And so here you are, sovereign in the end, working with these curious and passionate and willful young people. These could be sides of yourself. I feel like it's others because this is a card that makes me think of community. And this is in the realm of water and of the emotions. The bottom of this deck says, this is the truth. And it says, again, this is what this is about. Cups, feelings, rainbows, and young people taking the offer. This is a gift. It seems like young and maybe something that we might be inclined to not take seriously because it's coming from a young person, but I'm inclined to take it seriously. I just think Westerners are too often afraid to listen to young people. So Virgo, it's a spiritual journey. You got to get out of the practical, out of the perfectionism. Listen to this Hierophant. And even though you don't know what the heck, do it. Do it. Trust yourself. You already know what this is. So good luck to you. I hope this helps. Have a beautiful day.